Hello, I'm Jeffrey K. Horcrims. And these are all the same people who were here before. Now, so listen up. There's a couple points of order before we continue. Of course, I would like to thank our partners, Elderwood Academy and Level Up Dice, for continued support. I mean, obviously, if you are of a mind to, check out the Omen and Evelyn themed dice, the ship set, consider it for your holiday. Of course, they have backed up the show more or less from the beginning. Obviously, we really appreciate it. They allowed us to tour around the world when we did that, so that was really great. And we had a lot of fun down there in Oz. Does anybody else miss the fucking accent?
I was walking with my bud, and we heard an Aussie accent, and they said like where they take a letter and put "Asa" at the end of it, and we were just like, I am nourished for the next year hearing that.
It's a micronutrient. And there's this aspirant H thing. Oh my God. I need it so bad when I'm there. Speaking of our store, obviously the holiday season is here. And so are our Black Friday weekends. You might've seen some of Chris Jobs' horrifying art. The stalker, I think is the classic terminology. Yes. True horror. You're not supposed to put those on your head. I mean, that's like the one thing we know about those bags. No. We are rolling out awesome sales and new apparel and accessories from Gabir Motors, obviously something is near and dear to my heart. Acq Inc, even Gav's WASD stuff. We got some stuff popping on that. Penny Arcade. The next couple of weeks are full of cool stuff. Please check it out. But one of several items coming out this very weekend is the Acq Inc Blood Tea. And to celebrate this momentous occasion, this apex of human history, we're going to give one away immediately. That's right now. So
let me just enter the chat. Hang on one second.
Yeah, boop boop boop. You're trying to get some of that. You're trying to get some of that boop boop now. So what do we think about these tales in this loop?
So heck of a loop.
Wow.
And some kind of tales too, and more to be told.
Yeah. So. How are you enjoying the transition into this strange new realm? Have our characters arrived intact? I think that the biggest, wildest shift is probably this Rosie. Like, this is a Rosie that completely owns this. Well, that destiny that we sort of enunciated over the course of the show that she's trying to get away from. This is like, in some ways, this is an opportunity to see like the Rosie before, where she was in the full flower of it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I wanted to have an opportunity to actually do an origin story for Rosie.
Oh, so there we go.
This is the Tales from the Loop edition of her criminal enterprise.
God, I love it. I like that. I like the idea that it's just the information, and it's like lens through a particular point of view, but it's all canon in some way.
Yes, exactly.
So Chris, how are you enjoying being Chris?
It's real bad. I'll be honest with you.
Without the artifice that we typically apply.
Right. Usually there's like some kind of a fantasy shield that I can hide behind, but now it's just all laid bare. I think it's interesting that how much does this track with y'all's like junior high school experience?
Junior high, a lot.
Couldn't be different.
Not at all.
Couldn't be more different. Yeah.
I will tell you, just as a piece of trivia, that Northwood was my junior high.
Mm-hmm. I assumed so.
Yeah.
We're in Spokane.
So
yeah, we are indeed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you said Mead High. Is that also a place in Spokane?
Mead High is only a few blocks, really. They're long blocks, obviously. They're country blocks, but it's only a few blocks from Mead High. And so you often see this place that you will go to be scourged later. There's a Dante's Inferno tier, sort of circles of hell that you can be conscious of the whole time. Now, I should establish, and I think it's true for this game as well, that Brenna went to Mead Junior High. So there's a Mead Junior High and a Mead High School, but she went to Mead Junior High, a little bit farther east. Mm-hmm. And my understanding, as scandalized as you may be by this, is that they referred to our junior high as Nerdwood.
Oh my
God. Little pat. You know what I
It's
mean?
not even a good
Wow.
play on that term, on the
But
word.
it's quite good for junior high.
They did their, listen, this is what I can say for Mead. Bless their pointy little heads. You know, they did the best they could with what they were given, frankly. And so, we don't expect too much. We don't get disappointed maybe by Mead.
I wanted to show off my sticker covered notebook that is green screening out because I made some very conscious choices about my stickers.
I love it.
I wanted to make it so like if you saw this notebook, you would think that whoever owned it was like the sweetest, like most adorable, like little hearts. And there's this one that has a waffle on it. It says waffly cute. Like you would never guess from this twee bullshit that this belongs to a nightmare person.
Dude, well, yeah, exactly. Like it's like DRM. Like it's there to obfuscate and protect some aspect of it, right?
Yes.
My sticker, the book that I had that was like that had stickers on it, that was also like my sticker collection was inside, and the cover had no small amount of scratch and sniff.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, yes. I wish I had like some Lisa Frank bullshit, but I couldn't find any on short notice.
Scratch and or sniff. Now the pickle one, I will tell you, quite intense.
Yeah, they get close on that. Yeah.
Pizza was more ambiguous. It was really an oregano scratch and sniff, as far as I'm concerned. I think making a scratchable, sniffable cheese may be something that we weren't ready for in the 80s.
Maybe science shouldn't tackle certain things.
Someday. Dig too greatly and too deep.
I want to go back to Chris's question, though, how closely this resembles your junior high.
Yes, please.
Chris, can you start with like a comparison? Were you raised religious?
No, that's not it. Like I have to make some concessions to it as far as like my dad's alive still. As far as like who Cathris is. But like there was that element, and there's a lot of like I went to Catholic high school, and it really is the time that later on I couldn't think of a worse way to extol the virtues of Catholicism than Catholic school, where everybody I know is like that's their first part where they're like, this doesn't sound good. This doesn't sound right.
It sucks.
You don't go to that school and you remain a Catholic. If you go to Catholic high school,
to have it purged,
it's done. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't bear that analysis, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, of course, I think I wrote about this recently on the site. Yeah, occasionally you spend the night at a friend's house and they're Catholic, and so then you have to go to church with them, and they drink wine at their church.
Yeah.
And that's not how it works at my church. What's so funny is this is like, man, I was like, this place is real odd. There's substantial portions of it that no one understands because they're in another language. And then but it's so funny. Like when I think back now, I was like looking at this sort of like ancient, like reverent ritual and being like, wow, what the fuck's going on here? I just go to a normal church where people shout and scream in tongues, and then other people pretend to interpret it in real time. That's a normal Sunday for me.
That's a tough one.
Oh,
yeah. But I thought that Catholicism, which has hundreds of years of rigid, robust tradition, was weird. And then my thing, like my cult, was the normal one.
It's like a lot of add-ons. It's just like DLC on top.
Yeah, exactly.
Flavor it.
We got the new levels.
Yeah.
But what about you, Tris? How close is this to junior high, Tris?
So I went to, it's important to know that my elementary and junior high schools were bulldozed to the ground.
While you were in there?
No. As
a result of your participation?
We have to stop her at any cost.
No.
She's learning.
No. And so I went to junior high, and it was like what I imagine like high school on TV was like. And I was like, oh God, get me out of here. And so I ended up going to a private school for high school, and God bless my parents, they made it happen.
Wow.
But it was
it's a heavy lift.
It was a all girl, in quotes, a lot of feelings about sex education.
Oof.
What so much pressure to put on someone. And it was an equestrian school for all the rich girls. However,
hold on. So it was also a school for horses?
No, sort of, because the girls would bring their own horses that I guess they had from home. Oh, what?
You have to bring your own horse, really.
No, it was shocking. Yeah, there was like the public horses you could use, and I'm to understand that was not okay. However, for the rest of us, detention. When I see stuff now, and it's like you're in high school and you're in detention and you're like studying and you're like, man, it sucks being inside. Our detention was like, it's winter. There's 3 feet of snow on the ground. March your ass 1.5 miles down to the barn, muck out stalls, or like pick weeds out of the horse fields. And I'm like, so yeah, like this is great to LARP. Like, what would just regular high school be like for a human that goes to a regular ass school?
That seems like they enlisted a bunch of like teenage girls as indentured servants to
that's what it sounds
take
like.
care of their barn.
It was once a finishing school, and so we still had a lot of holdovers where like we would have nights where we would have to like learn table manners and blibbity blobbity blue.
Balance a book on your head?
No, I did not have to do that.
Well, now look at you. How are your table manners?
I know what fork to use and when, and I can fold a napkin too many ways.
Outside in.
Amazing.
Use the cutlery from the out to the in.
It took 30 seconds. I don't know what the rest of the school was. We were finished.
Can you fold a napkin into a killing blade?
Can I? The key is
by the time you know the answer, it's too late.
Into the napkin.
The napkin.
Oh, but no. So this is sort of in some ways, it's like related to another campaign that I did called the AV Club. So, but the AV Club is at Mead. So typically in this game, you're supposed to have, the characters need to be sort of close in age, just because that's how like 80s adventure movies work. But in that one, I think the kids tend to be a little bit older, just because I wanted them to be older. I wanted them to be like starting out high school, really. So it's a little bit different social scenario, but they're not messing around with it. This has got the ironic like Acq Inc thing. That's a little bit different vibe, but those are also on the YouTube as well. If you want to see a different group, all those adventures that I ran for the AV Club, I ran first for my daughter's role-playing group. And so I would test content and ideas on this group of like, there's like 2 13-year-olds and 2 17-year-olds, right? And then I would test content on them, and then I'd do like a slightly more grown-up version for everyone else. There's things I was willing to do for, in an adventure for my friends that I was not willing to do with the neighbor's 13-year-old daughter. Conceptually, it went to some different places.
Hey, so Ryan, your turn to answer. How is Douglas different from baby Ryan?
Let's hear it.
I mean, I pretty much entirely. Douglas is pretty much written. Dinar was as well as like a anime trope. We're setting up a very good 80s, bad home life thing here with Dinar, which is really good. Seen it a lot of times in a lot of movies. But I mean, like in regards to my middle school and high school, I didn't play a ton of sports. I really didn't start playing sports till college and high school. In middle school, I didn't really play any sports. I pretty much kept my hell down. I was more of an art kid. Also, I mean, just Google Coatesville area schools if you want to see how awesome my schools were. The ratings on them ain't great.
Coatesville, PA?
Yeah. Ranked towards the bottom in the nation.
Nice.
Hey, we need this information for you. We're looking for the full review.
Hey, I proud product. I love Coatesville.
Yeah, the Google reviews of those schools are not great.
Like not applicable because these are not schools. Technically,
people
don't learn.
Pretty much.
They are daycares.
Yeah.
When you did play sports, Ryan, was it lacrosse as well?
No, that's the thing. I thought that would be a funny sport to have him play because it seems like a rich kid sport. I know nothing of lacrosse, though. This is what I was talking to Jerry about. I'm like, I don't know terminology.
Did you Google it when you were like rattling off all the C words with
Yes, no, but when I was talking about the Derby stuff, I had a page of Derby terms and shit.
Nice.
I came up with this idea during the pee break. And I was like Googling and doing like 5 minutes of quick research so I could talk Derby terms.
Talk Derby to me.
No,
you liked it. Don't shake your head at me, Tristan.
That turned out good.
Write that down.
That turned out good. I for a content in a future adventure, there is a substantial list of potential derby names if they're needed.
What the hell was the fake one I sent you? That was the EPA.
Oh, don't worry, that's in here. I don't want to say it.
Great. Okay,
I don't want to say it because there's going to be a mentor type character.
Okay.
Who is going to suggest? Oh, I was just going to say it's. There's no wasted work.
Okay, great.
And it's too funny not to use.
Fantastic.
We didn't get a chance yet to talk about our songs. Do you want to do that on the next episode? Because I think it's very important because these choices are inspired. Exactly.
No, I think so too. And then we'll just do that at the head of the episode.
Okay.
I'll introduce you, and then I will say in your favorite song is, and then we'll just move on from there.
Okay.
Oh,
play it.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then I'll play it, and then then we get DMCA'd.
Yeah.
It's fun to stay at the.
Yeah.
No, don't. You will get it.
Will, you're going to flush this whole thing down the. Well, listen. Thank you so much. Obviously, gathered friends. So nice to see you again. Very energizing, very nourishing, very nutritious to spend this quality time with you. And of course, the Shadow Council. Thank you so much for rolling along with us. Hope you're having fun. We'll see you next time.